The four-day Taipei Game Show has kicked off at Taipei Nangang Exhibition Center. Organisers have implemented strict COVID measures to minimise infection risk. Capacity has been limited to just 7,000 people at a time. Visitors are required to pass temperature checks, disinfect their hands and register their contact information before entering to see the latest in video games.
People stand in line to enter the venue. At the entrance, temperature checks, a spray of disinfectant, and real name registration is the order of the day. If you want to step into this booth, you'll need to disinfect your hands once again and put on an admission wristband. This year, Taipei Game Show is going ahead as scheduled, although it's not as bustling as before. There are still long lines this year, but they're nowhere the scale of those in previous years.
Last year, there were more stands. You could barely move because of the crowds. Now, it's very empty. We have a single entrance and single exit this time to avoid overcrowding. After each activity ends, we close off the space for disinfection. It seems that crowds are much smaller because there's been a sharp drop in participating companies. I'd say the crowd is smaller by 30%.
Organizers have implemented strict public health measures. Attendance has also been capped, with only 7,000 people allowed in at any given time, down from 12,000. Vendor stalls have been limited to 500 instead of 900.
This year, the whole event will be held online and offline, physically and virtually. Originally, the physical expo was going to be 3 times bigger than what you see today. The size of the crowds at the venue is definitely smaller than in previous years. We won't be able to calculate the crowd size until after the convention ends.
The 4-day video game convention has gone ahead despite the pandemic. Organizers have stepped up their public health measures to keep contagion risk to a minimum.